out and then divert more user traffic to the new feature, you'd like to know that happened at 3:12 p.m. on a Friday. And then you go and look at your logs of customer behavior, and you can say, oh, we can correlate between the change here and the more money coming in.
It establishes a KPI.
So it gives you a standard framework to test the behavior, A/B test, whatever you want to call it, and say, okay, this is better for our business.
So that becomes very important to developer.
Very, very important. And these would only...
If you care about your users.
If you care about
and their
your
behavior
users.
and the money that your company makes.
Right, yeah.
These are, not everyone does.
But that, if you don't care about your users, then what do you do? I don't know. That's another story.
That's a diversion from...
I'm not going to say anything right now.
There's a couple
Suppress yourself.
There are some companies you could work for.
In fact.
Oh, yes. Well, good. Well, so... This is still a very complex subject matter. I mean, it's
nascent and emerging.
Really is.
It's new.
So going forward, what are the things you're hoping to get clarified, almost in your own thinking? I'm curious on that. Like, what are the things you're thinking about, going forward? Like, they're trying to clarify in your own mind about the approaches and, how we're thinking about these service mesh technologies and GitOps approaches.
I guess I'll start. I think that there's a little bit of a tension right now in the kind of Istio progression where maybe people are trying to put too much into these sidecars. We already talked about the additional latency, but there's this operational burden that's creating, and maybe it's not the best solution. So finding that balance between what the proper layers of separation and abstraction are to do these things. I think everyone sort of has a little more clarity about, we want to be able to do these things. We want to be able to do service discovery, circuit breakers, tracing, all these things, but where should that live? What's the most performant, or what's the trade-off that we make? Everything in these sort of engineering questions is a trade-off, and I think sometimes you see the pendulum swing with the fashion of the day, and right now everyone's excited about cramming as much stuff as possible into the service mesh, and I'm not sure that's the best solution for everyone, and maybe some of that stuff will kind of get backed out and end up living somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't mention this, but the service mesh and in some ways aspects of Kubernetes represent the resurgence of a point of view from about 20 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago, which was the early days of enterprise Java and the early days of service architecture, when I think everyone got excited about the potential for the internet and the web and these new businesses and thought we can do so much more.
Rightfully so, right?
Yeah, rightfully so. And then they tried to apply it to everything rather prematurely. Right. And you ended up with these people who are building these overcomplicated architectures just for the sake of it, because everything was over-engineered. And you can see a lot of those patterns still in the worlds from ESB and SOA, still in the worlds of
engineers going to engineer, right?
Engineers got to engineer.
You can really do yourself some damage by having all of these extra parts that you didn't need. So I think that's one question. I think the other question is, how do you make this stuff simple for people? I mean, I believe that the key